When is nudging, my new word, too much? Never. I'll get back to you. The next day I call you. Someday I call you that afternoon. I've been thinking about it. If we can't come to some agreement now, fuck off. Now, is that too pushy? In certain circles, that might be too pushy. But since none of you went to any fucking refined schools, you're all shitbags, one step out of the fucking gutter. You got no morals, you got no fucking ethics. The only thing you have to worry about is the rule of law. Yeah, I mean, you're one or two steps above the fucking homeless. At least half of you have gone outside the auspices of the QLA model. You've been asked at least 1,000 times, where are you getting the equity? And you have an answer for that, directly or indirectly through our board and or professionals, accountants and lawyers. There's not 5 of you in this fucking room that did that because you're afraid of the next question. Well, exactly how are you getting the fucking equity? I don't give a fuck what your plans are. That's the least of my problem. I swear to you, we have had meetings, guys with meetings, push, honey, push, while the wife's in labor. As God is my witness, that's true. Now, that sounds harsh to most people, but I know guys that are worse than me. Remember, I was told 40 years ago, Dan, you're too fucking soft. If I'm soft, what are you? I'm not here by accident. How do you add value? You don't. That's a myth. Everybody, you hear that right. How do you add value? You buy another motherfucking company. That's how you add value to the shareholders. You're not smart enough. Other than the stuff, you buy all the pencils from somebody, you buy all the insurance. A fucking 5-year-old can do that. Well, that's about the mentality, a 5-year-old. You add value by buying shit. All this detail, fuck, it gives me a headache. I swear to you on my grandson's head, I never asked any of this shit, but I wasn't afraid. You gotta tell them up front what the deal is. If I'm gonna hire 2 assistants, I'd have a room full of this people, bunch of people. And you know how there's a disclaimer when the seminar started? They read a disclaimer, except this disclaimer is like 5 pages long. We're not trying to insult anybody, this, that, and ethnicity, get it all out. But Mr. Peña will do all those things. If you come to the dance floor, get ready to mambo. I mean, that's what we're telling them. I could look at her in 5 seconds and tell you what's gonna happen. Just like I can smell death, just like I can see fear. But I've been doing this a long time and I've done it thousands and thousands of times. It's a way of life, It's telling your wife, no, we're not doing that. I don't give a fuck what your mother says. It's, no, you're not going away on a sleepover. I don't give a fuck if everybody's going on a sleepover. See, you still don't get that. And that's why some of you are back for the hardcore. They were here 2 or 3 years ago because you have not been able to implement it properly. There's no question about that. At Amazon, if you want snacks, you bring them yourself. If you want coffee, you bring it your fucking self. If your job requires like a Mac, 3 people have to share a Mac. Now, Amazon is one of the most profitable motherfucking companies on the planet, right? They can afford 3 Macs because then when you have to share a Mac, you have to schedule your time. There's method in this madness. It sounds chicken shit, but it works. Some of you guys that you think you're tough managers, you're not. You're wusses compared to the big guys. There's laws. If you call somebody here in the UK a fat person, I just committed a hate crime. If I call you bald in the UK, that is a motherfucking hate crime. Well, I should be in jail for a million years. I'm never gonna change. This is it. Take it or leave it. Fuck you. See, I think that that's not just diabolical. I don't think that's right. I know it's not right. You decided to be fat. That's your fucking challenge. The fact that I call you fat boy, that's my fucking prerogative. But it's not in the UK. It's a hate crime. A famous story, Elon Musk is 10, 12 years ago. He's in corporate headquarters and only 30% of the employees were in the office. And he said, well, you can always spend time with your kids on the weekend when we're bankrupt. And I realized some of you can't say those words. I feel sorry for you. And then in 14 years, you'll go on Reddit, oh, QLA didn't work because I was a vagina. But you'll leave the vagina part out. We don't care what they want. I mean, how many fucking times do I have to say this? And when he was in the regular seminar, he sounded like fucking Hitler or Herman Goering or something. And now he's a cunt. Because you all are. You can't get rid of that vagina. You just can't do it. All the bullshit. We don't care what they want. How many times do I have to say this? Forget that $1 million, Go sell your wife to somebody else. This deal's not worth doing. Forget about it. Shit can it. Next. And I don't even want to know how long you fucked with it. If you fucked with it more than an hour, you fucked with it too long. What about what I just said don't you understand? Now, everybody's got a little wuss in them. Some of you got a lot of wuss in you. And that vagina flaps in the wind. But you guys, somehow you find a way. I don't know exactly how you do it. You got to bend your hips. I'm not sure how you do it. But you piss into the goddamn wind. You're wasting your fucking time. Sally can tell you, 100-hour week was a short week. I used to feel guilt. It takes sacrifice. And Ellie sacrifice. And he tells the people the average age or average length for seniority of my assistants is 4 to 7 months. Up front, you wouldn't do that. Your HR person wouldn't do that. A recruiter, if you use them, wouldn't fucking do that, would they? Because you wouldn't get anybody, but the people you do get are there to take care of fucking business. But you gotta be harder. Well, that's not 100% seller finance. Then you say, hasta luego, go fuck yourself. See, I tell every group, every seminar, I tell them, even before Corona, during Corona now, you have no idea the leverage you have. All the bullets in your revolver, all 6 are loaded. Their revolver is empty. You don't equate it to want to be life. You know that's bad. But at the end of the day, he wants to fuck yourself. The only way you're going to get 200 grand is you go borrow it from a fucking bank and put it in your account. You're not getting 200 grand out of this deal, this piece of shit. But you can't talk that way. And I can. You have no idea the leverage you have because you're their only alternative. Everybody says there's another buyer. Well, that's horseshit. Oh, and if there is, God bless you. Allah be with you. Go sell it to that fucking moron. Again, all these guys, Carl Icahn, Elon Musk, all these guys, they're not just pricks because they're pricks. They're pricks because it works. But you gotta be pushier. I want you to go out and cut their heads off and shit down their neck. Be selfish. Not many of you did that. I just started to calculate how much time is it gonna take from somebody, not me, to turn this shit around. Fuck, forget about it. I just left. Now you would sit down. Everybody in this room would sit down there and finger fuck with them and what did you accomplish? Nothing. Make no mistake about it. He says that's the report, a slightly dumbed down version he uses with his employees on a weekly basis, 2 o'clock every Sunday. In some of your cases, all your employees will quit as soon as you send them that fucking email. I can pretty much guess. A third of your employees will quit, or all your employees will start looking for a new job. None of your employees, nobody in here's got an employee that's going to keep track of every minute of the day, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. You don't have an employee that does that. You can't find one. But some of the guys, like him, all their employees. And you wonder why they're so fucking successful. Now, I used to show them the report as part of the interviewing process. I had people get up and leave. But we weren't the fastest growing energy company in the fucking world for 7 fucking years. We left blood in the streets. We left collateral damage, and that's the only fucking way you can do it. Not everybody's meant to be at the other end from running towards the gunfire. Only the fittest survive. And the closer you can get to that end of the continuum, the more successful you'll be. Again, money's not everything, but most of you are here for money. And some of you are here for the fame and notoriety that money is linked to or associated with.